Alright guys, so in this video we're going to see how we can convert an HTML website to a React website. So this one is a HTML website that I'm talking about here. So very simple website that actually does nothing. It's just you can say the basic conversion of code from HTML to React, right? So we'll be going through a few basic things during this tutorial, and also I will keep the errors in this video. I will show you the warnings and errors that we get while converting the code from HTML to React. So let's just get started. So I've added this link in the description. You can actually go to this link and download the files. So these are the initial files that we are going to use for this tutorial. So you can simply go to this code and copy, or you can actually download a zip as well. So this copying this HTTPS, and then you can downloading it, cloning it through Git is more like a developer. It actually looks cool in my opinion, right? So you can simply open your hyper terminal here, or any terminal that you have. You can open it, and then you can simply say git and clone, and then you can paste in the URL. Actually, sorry, my English is terrible, right? So yeah, so you can simply just paste in the URL, and you can click enter, and this will clone all the files in this folder. I've already cloned them, so I won't be doing that again. Alright, so initial files is the thing that we need, and we can simply open over, let's say, code editor. You can open any code editor. I am using the VS Code. So these are the files that I'm having right now. Okay, so this is the images folder. I'm just showing a little folder structure. This is the website, and there are no actually pages. This is just a one-page website, and then you can have the styles here, right? Okay, so to get started with the React, we can just simply say npx create -react -app, and then you can name your app whatever you want. Let's just say simple -app. Okay, and this should do the job. And okay, yes, proceed. This actually takes some all right, yeah. So one thing that I forgot, that if like previously you can simply run this command to install this application, but now sometimes this gives us error that the version is 5.0.0 and you are trying to install 4.0.3, right? So simple thing that you can do to this to overcome these kind of errors, that you can say React app at 5.0.0, right? This will install the React application's 5.0.0 version, right? So this will be installing our application, and since this package is I guess about 200 MBs if I'm not wrong, so this will be taking some time, and I'll be skipping that part, and then yeah, once it's installed, then I'll come back. I talk too much. Alright guys, so the React application has been installed, and we can simply go to the directory simple application simple-app, right? And then we can simply say npm start. Okay, it's all written here. So once I click that, we should be running our React application at localhost. I guess it's 3000. Yeah, 3000. So this should be the first thing that you will see, not the blank page actually. Once it's loaded, I don't know why it's taking that much time. It should not, but once it's completely loaded, you can see a simple this React logo spinning, and this favicon. Actually, I've done that, and so don't worry about that. It's just me all the time. I'm just kidding. All right, so the first things first, we have this simple app. We have node modules that are installed, right? And then we have this public, and then we have our src that should contain all the necessary files that are required to run this application. So index.js is the main entry point where you can see this app is linked and this app is actually here, right? So all we have to do is change our stuff here and add new components, all that stuff. I'll be doing that right now, and I'll be telling you how you can do it. All right. So the first thing, we can change the title from index.html file, right? Because this is the main file that is rendered, and this id root is actually coming from index.js, right? Here you can see we are making all the changes from here to root. Okay. All right. So we have this. So we can say react to HTML to React. Okay. Oops. React. All right. So HTML to React, we have our index file, we have changed the title, and then we can let's just go to the folder structure and see it from here. Yes. Now go over to this initial files folder and click select all the images from here, and then you can go to this public and you can paste them here. You can change the fav icon as well. I will be leaving that as it is because this tutorial is not about this one. So we have all those images here in the public folder, and now we can create our components. So what you can do here is you can go to your src folder, and inside this folder you should create another folder that would be components. Okay, so these are the components that we'll be actually having only 3 components for now. That would be header, footer, and body, because this is a simple basic level tutorial. So the first component is header.js. So the second one should be footer. Oops, what is going on here? Okay, let's save this. Footer.js, the second one, and the third one should be body.js. Okay, and this is actually a convention, guys. You should be using this capital letter while you are naming the components, right? And also we'll be using the tags of React with capital letters, because for example, if I'm using a body tag somewhere that I've created, so this body tag in React is showing that the capital B is showing that this is self-made body tag, made by developer, and the default tags are something like this. For example, we have break tag, or I'm talking about self-closing tags, right? So image tag or anything like that. Okay, so this is the convention. So starting with small letters, that it actually means that you these are the defaults, and the bold letters, the big letter, capital letters, actually it means that we have created this ourselves. All right, so enough talking, let's just start with the header. You can import React from, in commas you can say React, and then we can close it. Let's just start with capital React. Okay, now we can start our function and we can name it. Let's just say function and function header, and inside this function we have to return something. So that something is going to be the folders that we are the header part of not the folders, the header part of our thing. So this is actually the method you should be using a div, because you cannot return a lot of stuff in here. You can return one element, so you can wrap it up in one div, right? So we can just go here to our HTML file, from here where we will copy so this is the website that we are going to convert. So yeah, let's just see. We have alright, so body is starting from here, and above all of this we have the header part, so we can simply copy this one. Okay, and then we can paste it here. So you can see a lot of errors. So the first thing that you guys can see is let me just align it. All right, so first thing that you can see is that this one is not getting any color. This is because we are writing JSX right now, so this means nothing because this will already be included in the document, as you can see here. So this will already be injected into here, this part and this HTML part, and so we can actually remove this HTML part as well. Okay, so we have the title, we have these meta tags and all that stuff. Now why we have a lot of errors? This is because in JSX the tags should be closed properly. So if you see this error, this will tell you that expecting corresponding JSX closing tag for the link, right? So that means that we have a few tags that are not available here. We will have to close them. So instead closing them with something like this meta, we just simply do in JSX, we simply just write this slash here. Okay, so this will remove the errors from our code, right? And this link as well, because all the tags that are self-closing, we should be using this this slash with them, /. All right, so what's up with this part? This is actually the style, and the style should be used inside the CSS. So we can just simply copy this one, or let's just copy this one from here, and then we can go to the style. All right, so we have pasted this into the style.css file of the main website, and we'll be copying this stuff later on, right? So for now this thing seems good and it is working. We should remove this style tag as well. Okay, so we have successfully make our first component, that is header, and then we should export it. So we can say export and default, that is header. All right, so export default header, that is exported, and we can simply just copy this one, and then we can go to this footer and paste it here, and in the body we can paste here as well. So now we should copy the footer from this file, right? Not this one actually. There are two index.html files, a bit confusion, but we can. Okay, so we have the footer down here. Where is the footer, man? I guess we don't have any footer, right? So no footer. Cool. Actually there was a footer. What's happening? Okay, we can actually come back later to this part. We should go to now we can copy this body tag, and we can go to this body section and just get rid of all that code and paste the body tag here, right? And we can actually yeah, again there are a lot of errors, and the first errors that you guys should get rid of are these HTML tags. So these HTML tags are not allowed in JSX or JS, so they actually have their own special kind of comments. You can select click control, and then you can click on this slash button on your keyboard. That will give you this comment template, right? So opening curly brace, then slash, then you can see a star, and then closing curly brace, right? So this is how you do documents. So once we are done with this, we should see the other errors that we are getting. So this body is this error is actually not because of this body, is because it's because of the images that we are having inside of this code, right? So what we can simply do is just put this slash after all the images that we have. So we can simply find the images, all the image tags. There are 7 of them, and the first one I've added the slash, and then the second one, oops. Alright guys, I guess it's done. The images are finally done. Now I guess there is still something left. Let's just see what is it. This should be, yeah, There we have. Okay, and the comment that I forget to comment out. Cool. Then we have another header, horizontal rule it is. Then we have break tags. We can close them up as well. So this is some donkey work that I guess we'll have to do to start to get our website up and running, right? And still I think there would be some errors, but I'll let you know once we'll start, because it's looking good, but we'll be having errors because of these styles, because these JSX cannot actually understand these kind of styles, right? About footer, so I guess we should leave it as it is then, because there is nothing in the footer. We can simply say div, and then we can just write a heading h1 just to show you, and we can say footer. Okay, and we should rename it as well, footer. All right, same goes for the body. We have this header here, we can say body, and in the end we have this body. Cool. Now we have created three components body, header, and footer, and now what we have to do is, sorry about that. Okay, so these are the components. Now we have to enter all these components into our app.js file, right? So we have here app.js there. So get rid of all the code that we have in header, because we don't actually need this, and inside this app we can start writing our components. So the first one was header, again this closing tag, and then we have body tag with the closing tag, and then we have the footer with closing tag, right? So this should work fine, I guess, but there would be errors. There would be a lot of errors still, because that is not oops, the first one that we got is that we haven't really defined them. So we should be doing this import header from, you can select that you have components, and in components you have this header. Same goes for import body from / components / body, and the last one is, let's just copy this one. Why didn't I do that earlier? Import footer from. Cool. So this should do the job, but still we will see a blank screen and no errors, nothing at all. And this is the time to see our inspect elements console. So this should tell you that we have few errors. So the error is in image list item. So there are a lot of errors, right? So I can tell you what is the error. Mostly the error is due to the styles, right? Because you can see this actually doesn't allow you to style like this. JSX doesn't allow us to style like this. So what is the solution? We should be adding it into two curly braces, and then we should treat them as JSON files. So that style should see it as an object, right? So style is having a variable inside this curly brace. So this variable is having an object, right? So this object is having a weight and the say the percentage, the width and its value actually. So key value pair, right? All right. So we should see the style, and we have style at 8 places, and I'll just quickly do all of them. Alright guys, I guess that's it. We have done that, and this should work now, but it's still not working. Now what is the issue? You should be in char set. Oh yeah, and all those that are having the class, we should be saying that as class names, because in our JSX, it is class name, it's not class. So this is class name, right? So when you are converting from HTML to React, you should rename all the classes that you have to class name with capital M, and we have replaced them all. Should replace them all, cool. And in the header as well, we should see that we have this char set that should be S capital, that is char S with char set, and this should do the job. I guess there are still some errors, I don't know. React does not recognize class name. Oopsie, there are two class name. Now what has happened? What I've done? Class name. Okay, so there is one class name, and we can simply rename this one. Cool. Okay. Now what? Now we have a few more errors that are in div body div app. Let's just see. What are these errors? What can be these errors? The class name is good and everything. Oh yeah, there is another style that I forgot to clear. You see, these kind of errors are mostly the errors that you can see are mostly because of the styles, right? So okay, it's now working. So yeah, we have successfully converted our website to a React website, but there is one thing that you can see the footer as well. This is the footer component where we added the h1 heading. Alright, so one thing that I forgot to mention was that the CSS of this file was coming from an online source. That's why we didn't actually require to add the CSS file, but if you are having your CSS downloaded, you can simply go to this, you can simply copy your CSS into this app.css, right? We don't actually need any of this CSS. So this CSS is directly into the CSS we have on our file, right? On our apps file, the ReactJS apps file. So that's how we converted our website to a React website, right? So I've told you how to change your title, how you can change your fav icon as well. And here we can see we have React in JavaScript frameworks programming language is node.js, and all the cool stuff is here. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video.
What's up guys? Today's video is about the difference between map and forEach methods of ES6. Now before ES6 of JavaScript we used to loop through the elements like this. This was quite a hectic task, and now just for the simplicity I've already written the code. If okay, so this was just a for loop. I hope you all are familiar with that. And this is for each method of ES6. What this does is actually loops through all the elements of this array, takes this array, and for each element do this. And this is the function that takes a parameter. This parameter can be anything. It can be x, it can be y, it can be any value, right? So just pass in here. Okay, so this was a method of looping through the elements in ES6. But what if I copy this and I paste it in here and I change this to map? Same results, right? So how are these methods different? So first of all, let me tell you that for each is a looping method. For each actually loops through the elements in the array, while map copies the array, copies this array, and gives us another array, right? And that new array can also be modified. For example, if I want to create a new array from this one, from this array I want to create a new array. For example, I say const const new array equals, right? So what I want to return in this new array is return value, whatever this was, plus something else, lol. Okay, so what if I want to now console this array? Let me just first do the same for the map. Let's just copy this one and paste it here, and this can be new array 2. Terrible naming here, but we can do anything we want because we are developers. Okay, so what if I console.log this one? This is new array. This says undefined, while if I do the same for new array 2, oh sorry, this one is going to be map. Okay, so if if I try to do the same for the new array 2, which is using a map function, this is actually returning something. This is actually returning an array, and this array you can see is now modified. So this was a difference between the map and forEach function. Now to summarize all this, previously we were using the loops from JavaScript, but now we have ES6 and we have two methods that are confusing for a lot of people, forEach and map. Now what forEach does is this only loops through the element, and if we even try to modify our array with this method, this returns undefined. This was the first console.log. But if we do the same through map actually copies the array, and then it returns the array to another. It actually copies the array into another array, and we can also modify the array, right? So the examples are weird, but there are a lot of uses for all of these. Hello everyone. Today's lecture we are going to see what are ES6 variables. Now before ES6 we have var, and now we have let and const. So now if we already had var, why was there a need for new variables? Now let's see that. Var was actually having a problem. The problem was var can actually be redeclared. For example, if I have a variable var and name is player1 and I perform some calculations on this one, I'm just naming it sum for now, and you are maybe writing a game, and on some line you forgot that you have already declared variable player, and you again declare this player1, and you perform some other calculations, right? Some other calculations on this one. Now if you if you see the results, then you'll notice that all the progress that you had earlier on the variable that you were using above was actually gone, and now you have the things that were associated with this one. So this could have been a real problem for someone who doesn't actually remember that he has already created some variable. Now how does let solve this problem? If I have a variable called game, let's say game, and again I have some calculations on this one, and on some line I have, oops, sorry, it's let, and on some line I have created the same variable again. Then before even console logging something, it will tell me that I have already declared game, right? So this way we can understand that we are actually, we are redeclaring some variables. We are using some variables again and again. Now, one thing to remember here is that var can be redeclared and reassigned, while let cannot be redeclared, but it can be reassigned. For example, if we are using a variable that we think can be changed later on, for example, username, and we can have a lot of username, then we can have any username, right? We just want to ask a user to enter his username, right? So this thing can actually be reassigned later on, so we can use let or var for that. But again, I told you why var wasn't suitable. Now if there's something that we think is not going to change throughout the program, then you can use const. For example, if I say const maybe a number that should be same throughout the program, and I want to keep it like this should be stored in const. So if at some point I want to change the number, then again console will tell me that the number is read only, you cannot actually modify this const value, right? So in simple words, var can actually be redeclared and reassigned, while let cannot be redeclared but can be reassigned, and const can neither be redeclared nor reassigned. Const is constant. Okay, so and the difference between var and let doesn't actually depend on whether one is good or bad. It actually depends on how you want to use them. This difference is that var is a function or a global scope, while let is a block scope. Now what does that mean? Block scope means if you have something inside these curly braces, this is a block, this is a code block, and if I have a let inside this code block, I cannot access it outside this block, while the var can be accessed outside a code block until it's within a function or within a window. So this whole window is a function, and if I, let's say, if true, if I use a if else statement, say true, then let's say var equals var name equals pop, and we can use this name outside this block, right? Because this is sorry, this is name, right? Okay, so we can use this outside this block, while if we have if we had let here, then we cannot use this let outside this code block. So this actually depends on how you want to use var or let. If you want your code to not be accessed outside a block, you can use let, and if you want your code to be accessed everywhere in the code, then you can use var for that. One last thing is that we use const for arrays as well. So let me just use const for arrays. So for arrays, const is used because through const we can, let's say I've created a const of things, and that is equal to an empty array. So this const can be modified, but it cannot be overwritten. For example, if this if these things have something inside, let's say table, table, and then we have chair, lol, and then we have pen. So all of these things can actually be modified through the array methods that are pop, push, or like this. For example, if I want to add something else into these things, I can say things dot push, and let me just name it clothes, right? So this way, if I now want to check what is inside the things, you can see we have clothes as well. So using const, we can actually modify the arrays through array methods, but we cannot override these arrays. For example, if I want to say now the things, things should be equal to, say, something else, then they are saying that things are read only. So things again, using const, the arrays can be modified, but the arrays cannot be overwritten. So that's why we use const for arrays. So that was all for the video. Thanks for watching.